in studio, I have three very special guests from the Imago Dei School at Trinity Classical Academy. They're already having a ball. They're already laughing. And I haven't even really said anything. I haven't even officially introduced them. I have Tim Smith here. Hi, Tim. Get real close to that mic there, will you? Real close. Real close. You know what? Let's get the mic to you.
All right, there we go.
Let's get the mic to you.
There we
Everybody
go.
get comfortable with the mics.
Okay.
Stop kidding around, you guys, now. We have work to do. Tim Smith is the Imago Dei Math, Bible, Vocational Technology, Conditioning and Science, NILD, and FIE Educational Therapy. Wow, Tim Smith, you have the name this long, and your title is this long.
Which means I'm old.
That just means you're and full of experience. We also have Barbra Escorza. She is the grammar school teacher at the Imago Dei School. Hello, Barbra.
Hello there.
And we also have Krista Stowell.
Stowell.
Oh,
That's okay.
man.
Stowell, however you'd like to say it.
I'm just going to call you Krista.
Okay, that's good.
And she is a Trinity Imago Dei School parent. And
Yes.
she's going to tell us how things are on the other side of the school system. So let's start. Who wants to start first? We have so many. First of all, I need to know what exactly is, we've heard of Trinity Classical. Okay, you guys have been here before talking about Trinity Classical. Talk to me about the Imago Dei School.
Oh, we would love to share with you what Imago Dei School means. We specialize in educating students in kindergarten through 12th grade with learning and developmental delays. Trinity Classical Academy was founded with the intention to serve the entire body of Christ, regardless of how the student learns. Our goal is to offer these students a hope and a future in a Christ-centered special education setting within the vibrant culture of Trinity Classical Academy to produce young men and women of courage and independence. We are the only private school in Los Angeles County that completely integrates students with the learning and developmental delays into the school culture along with general education students. One thing I wanted to add, I think in the beginning I said kindergarten through 12th, we actually have a TK program as well.
What is TK?
So TK is
Transitional.
transitional kindergarten. I had to think for a second. Yes, so we have transition.
We call it TK. Now,
Yes.
what is the difference between transitional kindergarten and regular kindergarten?
So it would be right before students are ready to come in as a 5-year-old starting school.
Oh, fantastic. Now, you started to say, so this Imago Dei School helps learning and developmental disabilities. How does that work at the Imago Dei? Like, what kind do you serve?
Okay, I can answer that. We actually
She's taken over, you guys. It's
No, no, no,
okay.
we got it.
Barbra,
Doing great.
Barbara's got number 2.
Barbra has this.
Okay, so we have an overreaching commonality in the types of disabilities we serve. We educate the student who is not successful in learning in a general education class, even with modification and support. Some of the disabilities include autism, Williams syndrome, and Down syndrome.
Now, Tim, as a private school offering these, how did it all get started?
There were several families that had students with special needs that they felt like the needs just were not being met in the public school environment or possibly even at other private schools. A couple in the upper school, our principal herself, her son Bo.
Megan Howell, principal.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
And also another family heard about our school from out of state, moved here, said they wanted to help start the program with their son involved. And then also on the grammar school level, Ms. Stoll brought in Stevie, which is such an asset to our school, right?
Thank you. Well, we hope so. Depending on what day you ask. Stevie would be the Down syndrome child, or the child with Down syndrome that entered Trinity.
What now? Let's transition into Stevie.
Okay.
Stevie is your son.
My daughter.
Your daughter?
Yes.
Twins.
Twins.
Charlie is her
daughters.
sister, and she's also a girl, just so you know.
And they both go to the school?
Yes, but Charlie is typical. Her brother Chaz is typical.
Uh-huh.
And Stevie has Down syndrome.
And Stevie, what a great name, like Stevie Nicks.
That's what I hope she can sing like her someday.
Wouldn't that be
That'd be the
awesome?
goal, yeah.
What's the difference between a regular government school? How do you differentiate? And I'm going to ask this for Tim and the parent too. What do you see the differences as
So-
far as the Imago Dei?
Several differences. I mean, we could spend the entire segment on nothing but that. A lot of my experiences in public schools for 22 years. The biggest difference is, number one, the love for the students comes from the love of Christ, from all of the teachers, all of the therapists. But our students at Trinity in the Imago Dei School, the Imago Dei School is a school within a school. So our students are also engulfed into the regular student body.
I was just going to ask that. Do you integrate?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes, so
and that
they-
works out well.
Yeah, and they
apparently.
receive different services that most government schools, we have educational therapy provided from different trainings, all of these things to incorporate a better environment for the students to actually reach them where they're learning. They just learn differently. So our goal is to find out how they learn, meet them where they are, and bring them to where they need to be.
Right. I've heard that's the best way to do it. Even, regular children, you have to, they learn differently. So you have to kind of cater to the child, not have the child cater to
Exactly.
the
The
learning.
system.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Exactly.
Now,
Yes.
tell me about a little bit before we have to take a break here. We're going to talk to one of the parents, Krista. So you have 3 children, and so the 2 go to Trinity.
Yes.
How does it work? Let's talk about the integration. How does that work on your side of things?
Okay, when we arrive at school, all 3 kids get out of the car and they all 3 stand in their line and they all 3 go with their teachers into the classroom. There is absolutely 0 difference in the expectations for any of them. Trinity has high expectations for everyone. And I was thinking about that today and I thought there's no exceptions. They have the same rules, strategies, boundaries, everything. Even my sweet little Stevie had a visit to the principal's office for running out of music class.
Oopsie.
Which is funny. No,
It is.
It's funny because, Megan, our principal, Mrs. Howell, she said, "You're not going to believe who came to my office today." But we try to not laugh because it's funny, but it's a safe environment for her to test boundaries. She's not on lockdown. She's not treated any differently. They give her space to see what she can do, what she can't do. She tests it just like any other child, and then there's a consequence. She had to go to the principal's office.
Now, what are we going to find out? What exactly made her run out of music class?
I don't know about
we-
that. Maybe
Okay.
she just didn't want to sing that day. I don't know.
But it was all taken care of, and now Stevie is just fine.
Yes, she went to the principal's office and she said, "Stevie, I'd like you to move the chair over so I can shut the door." And everyone in the office is looking like, is she really going to do it? Does she understand? And she did. She had her head down. She moved her chair and shut the door. So that's when the expectations are, Stevie, you understand me, shut the door. Like any other student.
Exactly.
So when you say, what is the difference is astronomical. It's like Tim said, the Christ-centered. I was thinking, what is the difference about this school? Jesus. One word, Jesus. And so with Jesus, everyone knows we're imperfect, including Stevie. She's no different than any other one trying to do our best. And they expect the best. They don't settle for less. When I went to a public school for 45 minutes before I decided to go to Trinity, and that's all I could take. When I watched the kids in that classroom, there were probably 17, they were pushing over tables, and a little boy with Down syndrome who was way more functioning than Stevie had his head like this
okay.
because he couldn't take any more.
Right.
And I said, I've seen all I could see, and I knew I would either homeschool her or I had to find something better for her.
And when you found Trinity, were you just the relief? What did you?
I cried. I was elated. It's a godsend. I can't imagine her life or ours without that.
Krista, I love that story. Can you all stick around? Because I want to do part 2 with you guys. You're all fun.
Oh, good.
But I have to break away. I have to break away and do some business. And you'll stay right here?
Yep.
And,
Sure.
Stay right here.
and hang on.